Hey YouTube, I'm back. It's Chloe Fan since 2000 with another Basketball Wives review. This is season 5, episode 4. I know this is late, but I had a lot going on. Basically, I'm gonna go through each character. So if I leave something out, just drop that down below. Tammy, just meets up with Susie and talks about the reason why she ended up having to miss Evelyn's PETA event because her mom was sick and, she just wanted to clear the air, And, they have this bonding moment where Susie reveals that her father had pancreatic cancer and so she knows what she's going through. Tammy, took her mom to the spa and they want to discuss her final days. They want to discuss hospice and, Tammy doesn't want to be insensitive, but she thinks it'd be better if her mother were to spend, her last days out of her house in some type of hospital or hospice. And I was really surprised because, if that was, my mother or something, I would not want her to be away from me during her final days because, you want to be close to them. And I didn't understand why Tammy wanted her mother out of her house. And I kind of understand because her kids are like, I don't want to see our grandmother die. But at the same time, you know, why wouldn't you want her to be right there where she does pass away? She ended up passing away, and I'm sorry, Tammy had to go through that. It's very sad, but that kind of had me confused. But Tammy's mom was a good sport. She was just like, yeah, I understand, I'm moving out. I got a new, place I'm going to get. They just had a real good moment. Tammy is still tripping off of what Shani and Evelyn told Tasha about her. They could go really wrong or really right. And, she just wants to really let Tasha know that, or let Shani know, let Evelyn know that wasn't cool and that she, may have to end up getting into it with Shani. Her and Evelyn are talking. She has this green jumpsuit on. And Tam was just like, I love Shani to death, but let her finger get in my face or some spit come my way, and I may have to punch somebody. And Evelyn was like, well, you'll probably feel really bad about that. She was like, you think so? She was like, yeah. She was like, I don't think so. And I was just like, oh my gosh, Tammy, you making something out of nothing. Now, the number one reason why you're so mad that they had to say that is because it's true. It could have been really wrong or really right. And I really think she should let it go. But, Tammy, she always has to start something. And it makes no sense. But that's why she on the show. Shani and Evelyn have this meeting, they go to lunch and Shani says, that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen. She's not going to punch me, shut up is what she can do. She can grow up and shut up. And I was just thinking, Shani got a little backbone this season, which is nice. I don't like Shani. I think she's the fakest out of all of them. She's trying to step it up and not be on the sideline this season. But, let's just see what happens between Tammy and her. I don't think much will happen. Tammy and Tasha meet up where, Tammy just tries to clear the air and say, I did kind of come to Susie and tell her to ask you about the chef thing, but I really, when we got there at the last minute, I told her not to tell you or not to ask you because I really didn't want to stir up any drama. And she was like, but Susie, she just went ahead and asked you anyway. And I was just thinking, I don't understand why she even had to bring up the chef thing. Why Tammy had to feel like, oh, I got to dig up dirt on Tasha because she bougie or she, she felt some type of way about Tasha before she even knew her. And, and if it was the other way around and Tasha did that to Tammy, Tammy would be ready to fight. She wouldn't care what the situation was. So I just feel like Tammy really was wrong for that. And, she just basically tells Tasha, I've been known to pop off, because, I don't like when people say stuff behind my back. So if you got something to say it to me. If you, don't let it get back to me that you said it behind my back because I've been known to slap a few people. She was just like, okay, I understand. I just feel like, Tammy, you really need to practice what you preach a little bit because, you should have really did that with the whole chef situation. You really should have told or asked Tasha yourself instead of putting Susie up to that. But anyway, that was them. And then she was like, as black women, I just think we give each other just the biggest problems. She was like, we do. We do, and I do think that's somewhat true. I think it's in all races of women. We're all catty and jealous and, full of drama, but it seems like black women really have a division between them. Black people, period, have a division, but that's a different topic. Anyway, Susie wants to talk to her cousin or whatever about her, future goals, graduating from college, going back, and how when she was going to college she stopped because she had this basketball player trying to take care of her, and now she regrets that and she wants to, kind of go back to school and pursue her dreams. And she basically just like, you need a plan, figure out what you want to go back to school for, you know, send all your transcripts to the college, don't give up. She was like, what if I don't get in? Blah blah blah. That was really boring. What's I want to talk about? Evelyn continuing to cry over Chad. She goes to see her lawyer who, when we find out, she had him to sign a prenup and he didn't want to sign one. And at first I'm like, girl, please. He probably made you sign one because, you really don't have any money. But I guess she does. She was just like, well, he didn't want to sign it, contrary to what people think, I was the one who made him sign it. He was against signing a prenup. But we come to find out that she wants to kind of remove the restraining order, and I was just like, are you sure? Like, I'm thinking it ain't been that long since he headbutted you, but we all secretly know she still wants Chad. Anyway, this rumor is out that her and Chad are getting back together because she was at a fan event and they were, or at one of his events, and they were holding hands, and the paparazzi got a picture of, and they thinking, oh, they're back together. She was just like, no. She was like, but when she was talking to Shani, she was just like, well, when I saw him, I was just like, oh my God, hi. And he was like, oh my God, hi. I was just like, oh, are you sitting here? And I was like, come on, let's have a drink, And I was thinking, you sure are giddy about somebody who headbutted you. I would just be like, oh, okay. And, just keep it moving. But she all giddy about it. And I was just like, Evelyn, I just don't, I get it, but I just think she could do better. Anyway, and I come to find out that she was just like, well, I'm still torn whether I should get back together with him, but I know that I can, really I should be able to do better, and that, he could change, but I don't think he's changing. And Susie was like, well, yeah, people could change, but she was like, well, with your abusive situation, you still stayed in contact with him. And Susie was just like, yeah, but I ended up in the emergency room. And she was just like, I just don't want that for you, and I think you can do better. And I was like, Susie, yes, I'm totally agreeing with Susie on that. But anyway, that was it, just about. If I left anything out, drop that below. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at O's Midnight Love, and that's OS_midnight_LUV. And I'll see you next week.